You are smart, but why do you still fail? There was a boy who believed that talent alone was enough for success, until life taught him a lesson he would never forget. This story might change the way you see yourself and the true power of discipline. Today's story on Buddha and mindfulness will take you on the journey of a smart boy who was constantly held back by his own distractions. Yet through failure, he discovered how to train his wandering mind and rise toward success. But first, please hit the subscribe button on Buddha and Mindfulness to support us in bringing you new stories every day. Now, listen closely and feel the meaning behind this story. In a small town, there lived a boy named Thomas. He was known for being sharp, quick-witted, and able to learn things incredibly fast. His biggest dream was to become a doctor, and everyone believed that with his intelligence, it was only a matter of time. However, Thomas had a problem that seemed small, but was actually very serious. He couldn't control his own mind. Every time he sat down to study, he could only stay focused for a few minutes before his thoughts drifted away, sometimes to his phone, sometimes to YouTube, and sometimes to unrealistic daydreams. He often told himself, "There's still time, I'll study later." But that later kept stretching endlessly until there was no time left at all. The school scholarship exam was his first big chance to get closer to his dream of becoming a doctor. But when the results came out, Thomas's name wasn't on the list. He had failed. His classmates, who studied regularly every day, scored well and were praised. Meanwhile, Thomas received only disappointed looks from both his teachers and his parents. That night, Thomas sat alone in his room. He didn't cry, but his heart felt crushed. He admitted to himself, "I'm not lacking intelligence, I'm lacking discipline. I've wasted too much time." Determined to change, Thomas didn't go to a math or chemistry teacher. He went to someone different, Coach O'Brien, the school's physical education teacher. People said that Coach Brian didn't just teach sports, he also helped students build focus and discipline. Thomas asked, "Coach, how can I concentrate while studying? I keep getting distracted." Coach Brian smiled kindly and led him to the school's sports field. He took out a toy bow and arrow and pointed to a target board in the center of the field. "If you can hit the bullseye, I'll know you truly have focus," he said. Thomas took the bow, aimed, and released. The arrow flew, but missed the target. Coach asked, "What were you looking at when you shot?" Thomas replied, "I was looking at the target, but I also saw the trees, the sky, and the kids playing nearby." Coach nodded. "You were looking at everything at once. That's why you missed." Thomas, a focused person only looks at their goal. Just like when you study, you can't keep your eyes on the book while letting your mind drift to other worlds. Coach Brian then shared 4 principles to help Thomas train his mind. First, control your thoughts. Whenever your mind wanders, remind yourself, this is study time, not time for daydreaming. Second, create a clear routine. Teach your mind when it's time to work and when it's time to rest, and it will eventually follow like a habit. Third, eliminate distractions. Turn off your phone, stay away from social media, and avoid anything that might steal your precious time. Fourth, practice consistently every day. The mind cannot be trained in just one night. It takes persistence and repetition, like a blacksmith forging a sword over fire. Thomas took Coach Brian's advice seriously. He wrote a daily schedule, turned off all notifications on his phone, and whenever his mind started to drift, he whispered to himself, "I want to become a doctor." At first, it was very difficult. But day by day, Thomas learned to stay with his books instead of being pulled away by invisible temptations. A few months later, Thomas sat for another important exam. This time, he didn't just pass, he ranked first. As he stepped onto the stage to receive his scholarship, he remembered Coach Brian's gentle eyes and a line he would never forget. The mind is like a wild horse. If you let it run loose, it will drag you everywhere. But if you learn to tame it, it will take you exactly where you want to go. Dear friend, we often blame our surroundings, our environment, or even our lack of talent. But sometimes, the only thing we need to do is train our own mind. Discipline doesn't kill freedom. It is the bridge that leads you to your dreams. If you believe this story could help someone who feels lost, please share it. And don't forget to subscribe to Buddha and Mindfulness so we can continue this journey of nurturing the soul together. See you again in the next story. Buddha and Mindfulness. Stories and teachings for a mindful life.